Ready to be hockey players? Oh, your socks are now skates, okay? So let's pretend that they're skates. Make sure, because we're wearing skates, that no one's stepping on each other's skates. Okay? Sure, skates. So first thing we're going to learn how to do is we're going to do our face-off stance. What would a face-off stance look like? Yeah, good job. Okay, so we're down low, banging our knees, a hockey stick in our hand.
Always get that spot.
Yeah, don't want to drop. Okay, good. So now I want everyone to find their own space in the gym and try skating in their socks. Loud.
Skating and stuff. So think about directional changes, right? Notice what Marita's just doing. That's what kids are going to do because the hockey imagery is strong. So maybe think about do the idea of sliding as an action word before you do the idea of hockey. So work on the ability to slide different directions, going backwards, going sideways, diagonal. Explore slide. Okay.
Okay? It's like your chest in hockey.
Give your front leg, you guys want to start with your front.
Okay, ready? Set, go.
Cool, okay.
And then just circle around to the outside. Skate on back. So that hockey's getting
Oh, I really like Alicia's. Keep the feet down all the time. Keep low to the ground. Use the arms. That's it. Like Gavin's got.
Okay, good. That is looking really good. We're all holding our hockey sticks. We all are on our toes. We all have our heads up. Look where we're going to go. Now, we're going to practice our stops. How easy is it to stop when you're ice skating? Not easy, right?
show us how you would do it.
Oh, yes. Okay, so what did Gavin do?
Skid.
What do we notice he did? Yeah, he went sideways, right? So you want to get that side edge of your skate in the ground so you're able to stop. So let's find our own space again. And I want you to glide, skate 3 times, and then stop.
So,
On your side.
with kids, use of line, you want to really explore the idea of matching and the relationship part. And then this bit you're doing well here is what you want to work on with slide. So go slide, directional change, pathways. Then you could work with a partner, or you can now play around with skid, right? So you're playing around with slide and skid. And then the idea would be to combine that to a set of 8. So you've got the beats going on, and then it's slide, skid. And then the idea of skid will be a freeze. So now you've got slide, skid, freeze as 3 action words. Hi. It's okay.
Okay,
You need socks, then you're in.
What's that?
Socks, then you're in.
And seen some really good stops.
Sure. Okay, can I get everybody in the line, whoever you're facing across each other? Are you going to partner up?
True.
And around the pylons, face each other on opposite
Because you're playing around with stuff, but I'm not thinking that.
So this is our ice rink.
You need to do lines. Keep that for working on the matching
Use the whole
or
thing.
patterns. Prior to that, exploring using a slide. Then work to a beat 8. Then begin the skid. Then add in the skid. And now you've got those. And then with the skid, you've got the freeze. So then 3 action words. Slide, skid, freeze.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah. Skides.
slide, skip.
freeze,
Yeah.
right? And they're the ones you're building into the beats of 8,
Yeah.
then building into the music.
Yeah.
So hold off on the imagery.
Okay.
So when you're first with the kids, play around with slide. Don't
Okay.
talk about hockey.
Yeah.
Get the slide going backwards, sideways,
Yeah.
right? Pathways, right?
Yeah.
Then start to bring in hockey image. But once you do that, it'll constrain.
Yeah.
And you want to explore first,
Yeah.
rather than worrying about this bit,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And it builds a better foundation.
Yeah. And then they're their own hockey player.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. I see. Okay.
Skates were breaking. It was dangerous.
So key thing I think here would be beat. So you're working them towards action, towards beat, so that okay, that's a lot. So this would be a good bit slide at beginning to work time. Sliding backwards, just like skipping backwards. Look. Yeah.
Really try to visualize the ice rink and think about these 3 lines as boards. So if you run into it, it's going to hurt. So you have to stop before you make the ice.
It's a lot of information. Yeah, to pick out a demo, what you after. So key here, you've got a good image in your head of what you want. Now you just got to work through how to get the exploration and experiment select, rather than trying to say do this. Try to draw it from the group. It'd be really good to have the music coming in around about now. That's the key, right? To get the music connected to the actions, to then develop the expressive ability. Voice is good. good, you have that terminology. So now you have to figure out how to help the kids learn the ability to use levels, directions, pathways with slide, skid, and freeze prior to reviewing it like you are right now. But this will work well for intro activities because you can even use skipping as an intro traveling, but you're working on the idea of changing directions, of sharp turns, so that you're not just using slide, you can explore with other travel actions, and then when you get to your dance, you take the idea of pattern, change the pathways, change directions that you've got in the intros, back to slide. So this one will work great for the intro activity with working as a team. So start with pairs and then into groups of 4, like I did with the marching song. So I can see this developing as long as you take out elements and work on them in the intro without focusing just on slide. But what will make slide better is the ability to change direction, ability to match a partner. Right. It's coming. Just got to figure out how to get the kids to a stage where they don't ruin it by mucking about. You have 3 minutes.
3 minutes.
But you can wrap up whenever you want. The key is to use imagery only to extend what they've managed to develop through exploration. Then you'll get a lot better movements and ownership and thought process. Whereas now you see your peers a little bit silly, but they'll be really silly with grade 3s. That's good.
Awesome. What did we focus on today? Skating. What was our stance plan?
God, you're good.
Face off. And what did that look like? Knees bent. Knees bent.
Down low.
Hockey stick.
Good. What was important about skating? What are the head up? What about stopping? So let's look forward. You're gonna stop sideways.
Awesome. Okay. And was it better like looking by yourself or in teams? Yeah. Just like a normal hockey, right? Okay. Wonderful. Good, everyone. Well done.
Great. If London wants to shoot off, there you go. There's the feedback for Scott and Drew. So work through it. Think teaching processes. Think task progression. Think the type of, what grade are you going for?
Grade 4.
So grade 4 students, what do you think? Yes, Devin.
I think it's really enjoyable, like just the way they talked about the team aspect. I think that makes it a little bit more exciting for the kids. Getting them to actually think about them being like a hockey player and passing and bringing it to life in the gym was really, really good.
So what's got to be cautious with that though? Great, I agree.
It's gonna be it's not all kids are gonna know it, so you're gonna get kids who don't know hockey, so they might even think, okay, what does it look like to be that? So maybe you're just a visual for that sort of thing. I mean, that's kind of hard because it's only 15 minutes, but maybe even having a visual or a video of some form to get them amped up and
So, and I agree. And the other part is use the imagery as augmenting. If you bring the imagery in too early, then it will constrain the movement, right? So the key is take slide, explore slide, then, this is going to be used for hockey. But you want to get the exploration of slide really done, because a lot of stuff that Drew was doing later on was great, but you want to get all that exploration. You were great because you've done change of directions and backwards and stuff. Grade 4s maybe haven't any idea about that. So get the slide and re-explore it, and then add in the imagery as to why we're sliding.
Okay.
And then decide, maybe even do the skid, and then add the imagery in, like with Gavin. This is like in hockey. Oh yeah, this is right. And then it builds on top of a movement vocabulary that they've got from slide and skid before you put hockey on it.
Okay.
Because then you do constrain it, right? Because immediately when you say hockey, right? Whereas before that, you're doing all sorts of sliding, and then gradually it's going to become constrained a bit more. But before you get to that, you've really explored it.
So would you not start with the face-off stance?
No.
Okay.
I would do the slide and skid and then bring that in.
Okay.
Because that face-off style is like a jump turn, right? That we're doing in the other dances, which you can then use with the music as a break in the music to really make it sharp. That, which will be the critical part. But everything Damon said was correct. It's just think of the learner and the grade 4. Because they'll muck about like too much with hockey, and the boys will be bumping each other immediately. They'll be fine before, but as soon as you say hockey, Gavin was going to pick someone here, but there was another male, so he didn't. But he was going to hit that person, right? Because that was what he's in his head. He can't help it. Whereas Emily's going, why are you hitting me, right? But he's bringing that in because he's on the boards all the time. He's like you, Scott. He's been doing it since he was 6, right? And he's desperate to show everybody what he knows. So hold back, and then he can bring that in with everybody else's expressive ability. Is that good? What I really liked is this is workshopping, right? So they're doing snippets, but to build to that end, and I could see using, that March song I did as an intro to get the idea of working in pairs and matching, using other travel actions, and then go to slide, and then that would transfer into dance. I could see that straight away. I could see the lines working, doing skipping, doing that stuff, then go to slide, but you've also explored matching, front leg, back and forth. So slide isn't just your travel action, but what will help slide get better, you can use other travel actions to play around with direction changes and matching partners. And then
you maybe start with just like a gallop before we went
yeah. I mean, your first lesson you're going to focus in on this, and then second lesson you could start with a gallop with the lanes, and then you go to slide, right? So the intro is focusing on an aspect of what you want to improve on the slide, change of direction, backwards, matching partner, right? That will work great because you're building around it. Other comments? Voice. Did you notice? Good. And they paused. Because some of you were mucking around, they waited. They didn't get annoyed. They waited, they repositioned, and then, right? So, and that will happen all the time. Your kids are going to get really excited. And if you start talking when they're excited, they don't hear what you say. And then they lose it, right? So you've got to pick up that energy. And so they were doing that well, and their voice was good, and positioning was on the edges. They weren't backed to any time. You've all learned that from last term. It's transferred. Brilliant. What else? Teaching behaviors. What might they want to work on now? Gavin?
Better demonstrations.
Stop and show. Yeah. There was some particularly good backwards skiing going on that I saw. Stop and print it out. What made that really good? Right, they kept, I think I saw Emily really keep herself low as she was doing it. So what was making it work? Pull those out, and as you calm and you slow down, you'll be able to do that more and more.
Yeah.
That'd be good.
One thing, just when you have us down the two sides, if you're in the middle and facing one side, it's kind of hard for the other side to hear you. So maybe at like an end or a side, then you project into everybody.
Good. Yeah, good positioning. Good. Great. Thank you. Well done.